the LLC shift is women who are getting more entrepreneurial, more independent in their own workplace. And I think of I'm a mother and my peers, but they're looking for different styles of work, flexibility.
Hey there, and welcome to a brand new episode of Delivering Marketing Joy. I am your host, Kirby Hassman. Joining me today is a brand new rock star. I'm super excited to dive in today. She's the co-founder of Hire Innovations, Telivity, and JobStream. She's worked with MTV, AOL, and the Wall Street Journal, and many more. Katie Fortunato, thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me, Kirby. Marketing is a joy. I've in all of those roles and capacity have always had some version of a marketing role. So I feel like I'm amongst my people.
Absolutely, absolutely. But and you have, of course, lived through with the startups you've done with Hire Innovations and those things. You've lived in that hiring space too, right? So it's been marketing and hiring. So I've heard that you've said we need to make hiring human again. So in this world of AI, how should organizations be using AI in that talent acquisition?
Absolutely. So I Hire Innovations is a company that sits right in recruitment marketing. So the whole ecosystem of marketing as far as like employers are concerned is exactly our world and our lens. And when we say like make hiring human again, I think what's happening is AI as a disruptor is no secret to anybody, but the software and the companies are not keeping up with that change and that disruption. And it's bottlenecking the hiring process. So what's happening is companies are not being able to get back to every single job applicant, and the comment on making it human again is, well, what about basic human etiquette? Thank you so much
Yeah.
for your interest. We will not be moving forward. Has become, what it used to be table stakes has now become something not always followed up on in the process. And the reason is because the systems are overloaded. The recruiters are being asked to do more with less. It's become so manual to have to go through thousands of applications. So the experience it's been tough on both sides.
Yeah, it's funny when I'm talking to folks on the AI, HR side, Katie. I kind of do the same kind of concept where I'm like, if your sales department was like, "Ah, gosh, sorry, I got too many leads, I can't call them all, I won't follow up with them," you'd be like, "These salespeople need fired." You know what I mean? And so we need to be treating some of these people who we'd be hiring sort of like prospects, right?
Absolutely. Like one of the hardest things about hiring is finding the qualified candidates. What so many companies get wrong, though, is sometimes their best qualified candidates and applicants are also their consumers. So you don't want to give those people a bad experience with your brand, regardless if it's on the commerce sales side or the hiring side.
Great point. Okay, so on the other side, people are looking for jobs, right? So how can job seekers navigate this new world of social first hiring?
So, the first thing that I heard when I woke up today was that there are recruiters who are making a business of selling a service to job seekers, saying, I'm going to apply you into hundreds of jobs. I'm going to work to get you an interview. And there's no guarantee, and they're taking that job seeker's money up front. I mean, my personal philosophy on this is we are all trying to make and find our way, right? To make ends meet. But this is the most vulnerable part of the population. How could we be charging? How could we be limiting, reducing, preventing access to job listings? So when we think about what's happening in social recruiting, like this is exactly where our company JobStream sits. And we've built a way to give job seekers a direct to the employer experience. So they don't have to doubt, is this job listing real? Is it a real company? Is it from a job board? Which, by the way, if you haven't been an employer to know that job boards give blanket job postings, and sometimes they're always on, whether there's real intent and motivation to hire somebody. So, as a job seeker, I think you need to be educated and looking for the quality opportunities. And then I think, all like most things, it's not just applying and that's it and sit and wait. The job is finding a job. That is the full-time job until it's done. So beyond the application, what are you doing as a job seeker to navigate your way in?
Yeah. Treating it like it's a sales job because it is, right? Like,
Yes. You have
um,
your lead list, and that's the top companies you want to work for and the companies that align with your personal values and your skill set. And it's the what do I love to do? What do I want to do? What can I get paid to do? And it's that like the intersection of those three things.
so obviously you have been a founder, you've started multiple things, and you've talked about what it's like to be one of the 2%. I'm super curious about this. What are challenges and advantages of being a woman founder?
There's so many. There's I guess let me start with the challenges. The challenges are what we know. Women have less access to funds. Women have more hoops to jump through, typically, to get a business approved and off the ground. Um, Women have other things happening, like family and other responsibilities, whether they're a mother or a caregiver or something. Like a lot of that falls on the woman, and there's a bias. So I'd say the challenges are the tale as old as time. The positives, the benefits, is I think in a room of men, it's a way to stand out. It's also if you know that and you have that power and you have that like self realization, it it could be the opportunity. It could be the way that you're cutting through the noise because let's look at marketing or to an investor or even a customer, you are unique. And so I think like one of the things I've really leaned into is, in taking the lead from other women founders is that founder led marketing. And it's uncomfortable, but if I told you my best sales channel is my own, would you believe me? Like, yes, let's double down on that all day long, right? So I think there's advantages there. And I think there's also what we're seeing is in the first time in forever that more women have started their own companies and LLCs. And this is like a follow the money type of investigation. And I've noticed an emergence in women based venture funds that are fully focused on bringing more women and pulling them up. So that's a shift. The LLC shift is women who are getting more entrepreneurial, more independent in their own workplace. And I think of I'm a mother and my peers, but they're looking for different styles of work, flexibility. They're looking to create their own schedules so that they don't miss bedtime and dinners with their families. And this is having what I think is a great ripple effect because it's giving women so much more opportunity to have that entrepreneurial business. And it's also about survival, it's independence. So, I think there's lots of benefits and peers alike that I see thriving in new ways.
Yeah, I love that, Katie. And to be honest with you, it's why I asked the question the way I did, because I think that we can focus on the challenges, and they exist, and I acknowledge them. But I think it's important to focus on both, right? And so I think that I appreciate your perspective on that. Um, okay, if you're starting something, we all would like to be able to press that easy button and get that overnight success. But I've seen you talk about the first 1,000 days, and that caught my attention, and I got excited about it because I think that's more realistic. So, what are some lessons you've learned in launching Telivity and JobStream?
Launching Telivity and JobStream. So I can speak uniquely to where we sit as an organization and how we approach new companies and innovation. But What is clear is AI has democratized access to be able to start up any idea. And that means I can go to Lovable, set up an account. I have no engineering or development skills. And there I have it, what looks like on the page a real company. The challenge is it's the marketplace problem. We call it a chicken and an egg problem. And which one do you start with first? Because I think it is really impossible right now to start a new company if you don't have one of those two things. And in our world at Higher Innovations, we said, okay, we have this core business. It's called Recruitix. It's the darling of the portfolio, and it's been in business and operation for 15 years. And we take an innovator's mindset where it's like, well, what are the new problems that we can help our existing customer base with? And we work with heads of people, heads of talent acquisition at the global companies of the Fortune 500 and some of the best brands known to man. And they have the biggest problems. Like we all have problems, but these are problems at scale, right? And so we look at that and we say, well, how is the world changing? What are the new problems that we have to solve? And then we look at innovation as a, do we build it ourselves? Do we buy it? So we're looking at a mergers and acquisition strategy, or do we do strategic partnerships? And in my seat, I'm looking at innovation and platform strategy. So we do all of the above. And when we get an idea like a Telivity or a job stream, we incubate it. And this is one thing that I think set us up on a path to growth. But before you build anything, you need to have 50 conversations and 50 conversations with your prospective buyers and understanding what is it exactly the problem you're solving, and call it product marketing. It's product validation and discovery. And one of the benefits of AI is you can build what looks like a face of your business and use that to get market feedback in real time without the investment of engineering, without hiring a single person. So if you're someone starting out, before you build anything, and everybody has a good idea, go and talk to 50 people. You get one yes, you start building. That's your
Hmm.
first customer.
Wow. Okay. Good stuff. You got my wheels turning. Okay.
Do you
Final
want to build
question.
something?
Always, right? Like always. I think those of us who are entrepreneurs, I was talking to a group this morning, and it's like I have no shortage of ideas, right? Like it's the execution. When you find people who can execute, those are the people of real value sometimes. So, um, final question for you. I saw that you said work life balance is dead. So, can you talk a little bit more about that?
I think the approach that I have taken a long time to learn. I mean, I've been in my professional career probably for 17 years now. It's not work-life balance is not even part of my vocabulary because where I used like here's the old me thinking. The old me thinks this is what I want to be when I grow up, and I wanted to be an actress. But what was my first job? Well, I was scooping ice cream at a deli, and I was interacting with customers and working for tips. And man, the skills you learn being that connected to the customer are really incredibly valuable. And then your career kind of takes pace after that. And you get the first job that you can get and you build and you grow from there. It doesn't always work out, right? You might get fired, you might find another opportunity. Somebody on the other side of that ice cream counter might offer you a job somewhere else because you did an amazing job giving them the best scoop of ice cream. So, whatever it is, give it your all and be open minded and curious. It might take you somewhere. What I think I did approaching my career was I want the dream job and I'm not happy and I'm going to do all these jobs while I'm figuring out how to get the dream job. That's not it. It's your dream life. And so when we say work life balance, it's not a balance, it's your life and you get one shot at it. So structure your day, structure your priorities around the things that matter to you. And that's how you balance your calendar. But I don't want to call it work life balance because it looks differently for everybody. My balance is I can go and take my kids to school in the morning, and if that means I'm starting meetings at 9:15 and not at 8:45 or 8:30, so be it. And I'm in a position where I can like have that build around those priorities. But that's what I mean. There's no work life balance. It's about the dream life, not the dream job.
And that's good. That's really good, Katie. I like that a lot. And I agree for what it's worth. I think that's one of those things where work life balance feels like one of those things we chase, but there's no such thing as perfect anyway. And I think that it is deeply personal. Katie, this has been great. So, where can people find more information about you?
People can find more information about me if you're interested in JobStream and you're a creator. And I think this is the marketing audience, so maybe that's a great place to direct you. But getjobstream.com, and it's a wonderful way to build your own creator focused brand and business. I'm also on LinkedIn.
Awesome. Katie, this has been fun. You've got my wheels turning. We'll have to do it again sometime, okay?
Thanks for wait. So, are you going to tell me what was your first job and what did you want to be when you grew up?
Great question. I think that I was an entrepreneur at a really young age, which I think people say that a lot. I think once you have that bent, I joke that I started my first business when I was about 8 or 9 years old, and it was a bike repair business. And of course, this was before social media or Facebook or anything. And so I went out and knocked on doors and got my first client the first day, and then quickly realized that I didn't know how to fix bikes at all. So it quickly pivoted to a bike washing business. And it's because I could do that. And so, yeah, after that, my first actual real job was I was bagging groceries at a local grocery store. And I'm with you, by the way, that was one of those things. You're interacting with customers the whole time. And it was actually more fun than I thought it would be.
Absolutely. Thanks for sharing.
You bet. You bet. Well, Katie, this has been fun. As I said, we'll do it again sometime. And for everybody listening and watching, that's going to wrap up this edition of Delivering Marketing Joy. We'll see you next time.